if you're not aware, our minutes, especially our financials, we don't like to broadcast that necessarily to the entire world to be recorded forever, right? So the folks who come to the meeting hear those housekeeping reports that we typically do, and that's the reason why we delay the start of the Facebook Live folks on our general membership meeting. Okay.
You live right now, Nick?
We are live.
Okay, folks, welcome. I just want to welcome everyone who's watching on Facebook Live as well. Sorry for the delay. There's always going to be a few minutes delay on our general membership meeting. So thank you for joining us. Folks watching on Facebook Live, please make sure you type in the comments and identify yourself. I am Joe Waddy from Store 123 of Company XYZ, okay? That is not only your attendance to this meeting, it is also your chance to win a raffle at the end of the meeting, okay? So we're gonna have a pretty sizable raffle at the end of the meeting. You have to be in it to win it, however, so if you don't tap in or type in with your...
They're banging away now.
Yeah, you can see, we can see the screen and although I can't read what it says, I could just see that.
You just see store numbers flying everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
So they got the
Thanks,
message.
Nick.
They got the message. So welcome. For the folks that are here, who is attending their first union meeting? Big show of hands. I'm not going to ask anyone to speak.
Maddie?
All right, some people.
This is your first meeting in Nassau County.
Okay, all right. I see a lot of new faces here. Who here is from King Cullen?
Excellent.
Okay. Just curious. I'm not going to shout out all the companies that we're going to talk about tonight, but wait, hold on one more question. Who here is a local 1718 member?
There's two.
No hands? No hands? All right. Okay.
I thought there was two.
That's true. All right. I just want to welcome everyone that's here. Really good to see the turnout. Really good to see, like I said, some new faces and some faces that have been here, faces that are here every single meeting. So thank you. We will.
Let me just interrupt for a second.
Yeah, sure.
You might want to stick around. Tonight's not the night to leave early. To my left is a pretty sizable pile of gift cards. $25 gift cards to Stop and Shop, $25 gift cards for MasterCard, two $50 Stop and Shops, and these are all the same or no? 2, 3, 4, and 5 $500 Visa MasterCard gift cards. Forgive me.
Yeah.
The first two of which will be raffled off just to you in the room. The other 3 will be open to those of you in the room and those on Facebook Live. For those of you on Facebook Live, if you don't like that, get in the car next year and come see us around Christmas. That's all I can tell you. Last year, I think there were only 2. This year, there's 5. The more people you have, the more justification we have. So, stick around. If you're not here, you will not get your gift card.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. At this time, we'd like to bring up our first guest speakers. We mentioned earlier, for those of you who are in the room, and you listen to the minutes, we try and do as much as we can to benefit groups out there and causes out there that help not only our members, but folks on Long Island and tri-state area. So to that vein, we'd like to welcome Donna and Sean, right, from Long Island United Way. Come on up.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having us, United Way. In case you don't know what we do at United Way, we're people helping people. And there's over 1,000 United Ways in the United States. So if you're not specifically on Long Island, we're from United Way of Long Island. There's United Way of New York City and all different states, and more than likely wherever you live, there's a United Way in your local area. And we're here, Sean and I, to just talk to you real quickly about some of our programs. I want to say that with United Way of Long Island, we support over 100 agencies. So I'm sure you've heard of the American Red Cross, Cancer Care, Mental Health Association. Those are all, and I'm not going to mention all 100, but those are organizations that come to us when they want to stay afloat, when they need the finances for one of their programs. So we do a lot. It just doesn't stay here, but it's also with different agencies. And a program I'd like to speak to you about is called Project Warmth. It starts in a couple of days. It's for individuals and families who cannot afford their heat. And typically, a person that can't afford their heat, they'll go to DSS, social services. And a lot of those people, they're denied if they're over $1 or $2. So these are hardworking individuals. They live paycheck to paycheck, no safety net. And what we do at United Way, if they're denied by social services, they come to United Way and we'll look at the whole situation. So to give you an example, a couple came in and they were hardworking individuals, paycheck to paycheck. They were just starting out. And the fellow, he shared that his wife was diagnosed with cancer. They had, she had to go through chemo, mounting medical bills. So he had a choice to either feed her or keep the house warm so she's warm. So what we did is we looked at that situation and we helped them fill up their tank. Also, this hits home for me because a couple of years ago, I'm from Brentwood, and my parents, their neighbor Joan at 80 lost her husband. All of a sudden, she's on her own, income. So my parents went over to the house and, they're walking around saying, Joan, it's really cold. What's going on? She was too embarrassed to admit it, but she had a choice to either feed herself or keep herself warm. So my father called me up. He's like, you work for United Way. What can you do for Joan? We assessed the situation. She needed some help. It's not as stringent as like DSS. What we did is we filled up her tank, put her on a reduced rate, and Joan will never go cold. So I'm just sharing this because you might be sitting there saying, well, this program's not for me, or this doesn't, it's not relevant to me, or Sean might share about a couple of programs. But you might come across somebody that you can help. Because there's a lot of people out there, and right after the pandemic, everyone's like, oh, this is over. Our phones are still blowing up. There's people that still need help because they were waiting for 8 weeks to get those paychecks. And they're trying to dig themselves out of that black hole. So we're here to help. That's what we do. So Project Warmth, just keep in mind, it's a really great program. And it starts in a couple of days, and we just run it until the funds are depleted, probably like February, end of March, and we help over like 1,200, 1,400 families. And I'm speaking for United Way of Long Island, but there's United Ways in your area too, so I suggest you go on their websites. So that's just one program that we have, and Sean will speak to a few other programs. Sean?
Thank you, Donna. Thanks again for having us, everyone. I also wanted to just speak about a couple of additional resources that we do have.
Sean, come this way a little.
Please use us as a resource. Family member, cousin, friend, anyone that you might not know, they may be embarrassed, feel shame for some reason. Please come forward and we can help you. Firstly, I'd like to speak about our veterans. Our veterans on Long Island are such a large population. There's over 95,000 veterans that reside here, and it's really important that we help them reacclimate to civilian life after service. Ways that we do that would be vocational training, mental health assistance, which is super important obviously with our vets, and lastly, sometimes we run into cases where there's even a great deal of housing displacement, so we can help in those matters. If you know any vets that need help, if you're a veteran that yourself, we can help you out there. The next program I'd like to speak about is our emergency food program. We started this about 6 months ago. We will be giving out, to people that apply and are eligible, we'll be giving out emergency food cards for Stop and Shop King Colon. This is to alleviate some of that financial pressure that families are feeling, given inflationary factors and things like that. Obviously, everyone's feeling it. But this is to put, some of that money that you'd be spending on groceries to then, you can put towards other needs in your home, whether it be bills or things of that nature. And then lastly, another external resource that we would urge you to utilize if you know anyone is our 62 and over safety and accessibility home repair program. To be eligible, you just need to own your home and be 62 and over. We'll have an occupational therapist come in, they'll assess the situation, granted whatever needs that you have, they'll install grab bars, handrails, grip tape, make a bathroom much more accessible for someone that has a wheelchair or doesn't walk very well. That's a really great program. We partnered with HUD, and that's been running for about a year now, and we're still looking for intakes and applicants. So if you know anyone, like I said, grandmother, grandfather, aunt, uncle, yourself, please don't hesitate to reach out. And please, again, use this as a resource. We'd love to help you if anyone needs help, so. Donna?
Sean, in light of that last program, I'm watching one of my pension clerk's eyes light up as you're talking. Clearly, our pension department has more access to 62-plus-year-old
Yeah.
folks, and she probably hears quite a few stories a week that are potential candidates for some of your programs at United Way. So I'm glad she's here tonight, because I immediately saw where her head was going. So.
Definitely, yeah. We'll be here after too. If anyone has any questions, don't hesitate. All right.
And I
I'll
just
pass it
want to
over
add
Donna.
one thing. You know, when there's an emergency, you dial what? 911. We have something, and it's resources at your fingertips. All you have to do is dial 211. So I can, like, maybe just give you a situation. I lost my job. I can't feed my family. You know, the children don't have clothes. They need school supplies. All I do is make that call, 211, or it's a 188 number in those pamphlets that we had given you, and tell them what I need, and they'll say, where do you live? And I'll say Central Islip, where I live, and they'll say, well, go to the thrift store down in by Pioneer Drive in Brentwood. Go to the food pantry. So you don't have to sit there or just, you know, talk to someone and say, I don't know where to go. You don't even have to Google anything. All you have to do is call that number. It's great. It's resources at your fingertips. It's 24/7, multiple languages, and it's just a good resource to have if, you know, somebody will ask you or say that they're in need. 211 or a 188 number. And it's in those flyers, or visit our website, because we just spoke about 4 programs. We have about 12. We know we help seniors, we have children with the Stuffer Bus, young men and women who need the education, scholarships. There's a lot, and I don't want to take any more of your time. I'm grateful that you know, you let us come in here. Appreciate it.
I would hope this is the first time we can have someone from your organization present and not the last. So you have an
wonderful.
open invitation to come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
great
you very much.
holiday.
Thank you, Donna and Sean. Important message. We all know someone who's struggling out there, okay? So speak up on their behalf if need be, all right? Don't let them go cold. Project Warmth is something that's very, it's critical, quite frankly, as well as the other projects that they mentioned. And folks, just watch your step. We got a lot of wires and booby traps here this evening up front. Our next speaker is one of our staffers. His name is David Bridgelau. He represents the Brooklyn and some of Nassau County area, I believe, a little bit of Queens also. He's got a message for you. So David, come on up. Anywhere you want, where you feel comfortable. You want to sit? You want to stand? You wanna walk?
Standing's fine.
Okay.
So good evening, everybody. Some of you know me. I'm the representative for quite a few of you here, and it's Brooklyn and Queens now, but I go where I'm told, pretty much. Okay.
You notice that was a subtle way of saying he's got more members in the room than the rest of the delegates. For those of you that aren't paying attention, that's what this actor said.
If it's there, it's there. So before I came to the union here, I did a lot more organizing than I do here, because at Local 1500, there's a lot of focus on organizing. You hear it all the time. Even in tonight's meeting, you heard about another organizing win, and we've had several here since I've been in. I've only been on staff for about a year and a half. But organizing in general is the backbone of the union. I had prepared something, but I noticed so well, I'm so well versed in this at this point in my life, that you have to keep organizing no matter how big your union might be. I come from a smaller union. I remember this union when it was about close to 25 strong, okay? And I'm watching it slowly head back in that direction. And the reason why we need to grow our members all the time, for several reasons. Political strength out there, the more members we have, the more influence we have on the politicians. Negotiations. In our industry, the more members we have, the better contracts we can provide for you. When you keep organizing, we need leads. And the way we do that is we get them, in my experience, the best leads I've gotten were through the membership, okay? Our greatest resource are our members, okay? So when you are at home with your family, at work, speaking to co-workers that work a second job that might not be organized, those are potential organizing leads, okay? talk to these people. Tell them about your benefits. You'll be surprised what you take as normal things that you get in your contract. A lot of people don't have that because they're not organized. When you have more organized businesses around where you work, more competitive salaries and benefits. There's so many things and so many factors outside of organized labor, okay, that can help us. And we can get that from you. So when you go home, talk to your friends and family, co-workers that have second jobs, businesses that you go to that are not organized, and you have somebody that you believe is a lead, call the union, talk to your business agent. Let us know. We have an organizing team here that's very experienced. And a lot of our business agents here and our leadership are experienced in organizing, and we'll get the ball started. Once again, the more organized labor is better for everybody. I can't say that enough, because I believe it, and it'll always be that way with me. So, nice talking to you guys. I kept it as brief as possible. You guys have a great night.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Very important message. You know, organizing is our lifeblood, and if we don't organize, there's a term out there: organize or die. Right? That's what happens. You know, when we talk about you hear President Newell always talk about Fairway going out of business. I see some Fairway folks in here and some former Fairway folks in here. Pathmark. I see some former Pathmark folks in here also.
We work with a few every day.
Yeah. You know, these companies that once were great, they're not guaranteed to be here forever, okay? Stop and Shop is what it is right now. You have flashlights on, Dave. And we hope that they get stronger and bigger and all of our companies continue to grow. And it's not necessarily the case, okay? So if we're not organizing to get new members in, then our numbers are going to do exactly what they have been doing over the past few years since we lost a couple of these large companies is diminish, right? And we're trying to go in the other direction. So again, Dave, thank you. Very important message. And if you know of someone that wants to better their working situation, contact David, contact your rep, whoever it may be. Contact our office, okay? We will put those folks in touch with whoever needs to be spoken to, okay? So, next up on the agenda is our Director of Operations, Mr. Paul Santarpia. Most of you know him here. For those of you who don't, Paul, everyone. Go ahead, Paul.
I probably didn't sound too good.
Well, first of all, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday and a safe one. And I appreciate the turnout that we have here tonight. It's nice to see familiar faces and some new ones.
He's also relieved, very much so, that there's more full chairs than empty ones. I can guarantee you that.
Because I'm the one that hears it first. But I just want to say that this coming year, we're going to be going to the stores looking to raise money for our charities. 2023 is going to be a big year that the reps are going to be having their fundraisers, like the Bowl-a-thon that we have in Dutchess County, the fishing trips in Suffolk, the comedy clubs either in Nassau or Suffolk, or maybe both. There's going to be a variety of events to help charities and needy people and our members. I'm also going to have, I believe, a fundraiser for our scholarship fund, and that one's going to be very interesting. But the most important thing I would want to say is I appreciate our membership. We need you. We need your involvement in organizing and these other campaigns that helps us throughout our jurisdictions. And we want to continue to grow our jurisdiction and our membership. And we can't do that without your support. And whatever we're able to accomplish, it's all because of the members, and I want to thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. And, you know, our fundraising events are very important. They're important to the organizations that we pass those funds off to. They're important for the research that they all do and everything that that you've heard here. A lot of you've gotten involved in the past, and you know, we need your help, quite frankly. It's not just a side job that we do, along with everything else that we do on a daily basis. It's something that it's critical to our communities here on Long Island and our outskirts. You know, we represent all the way up from Rhinebeck down through the city and then out to Amagansett and Cutchogue on the North Shore, Amagansett on the South Shore. So we try and get as involved as possible in all of the communities where our members live and work. So please, as Paul said, please jump in and help in 2023 with the fundraising and organizing, as Dave mentioned. Our staff is all together, we probably have about 20 field staffers, including our executives here. We can't do it by ourselves. We can't. You know, we've got 16,000 members out there that of which quite a few of you are here tonight, right? And we depend on you. We need you to jump into action, whether it be for fundraising, whether it be for organizing, whether it be for a contract dispute, because we have those as well. So it's the strength and the solidarity that we show that's critical. So thanks again, and please help us out in 2023. I am going to give a brief bargaining report. Since the last time we met here at the general membership meeting, we have been able to move forward on several contracts that we've been working on. We always like to give you a report so that you know what we've been doing and what's going on out there, sort of a State of the Union type thing, especially with regard to bargaining, okay? So since we last met, we were able to settle and ratify Petey's Pie Company. Petey's Pie is a new company that our organizers were successful in gaining recognition from those members to vote for Local 1500 to be their representatives earlier this year. Brand new company for us. It's always difficult when it's a first company to negotiate a contract, but back in September we were able to settle that and vote on it, and we do want to welcome Petey's Pie Company to our family, quite frankly. And by the way, if you are looking for an incredible tasting pie, they're not the cheapest pies in the world, but you definitely feel like you got what you paid for with a Petey's Pie. So I highly
They're union made.
Yep, they're union made. Say no more. All right, so Local 1500 Pie. So I would highly encourage you to check them out on their website, and if, for those of you in the city, visit one of their 2 locations, okay? Since we last met, I'm very happy to report that we're able to settle and ratify Pickwick Key Foods contract. For those of you who've been paying attention for the past 6 or 7 years, Pickwick has been a difficult company to negotiate with. Not the easiest in the world. Back in 2016, 2017, we had a pretty, vocal, for lack of a better word, campaign to try and help out the Pickwick members there. And I'm very happy to report, thanks to the committee. Lillian, I see you here. Anyone else here from the Pickwick committee? No? Raise your hand, Lillian. All right. Thank you, Lillian, for being on the committee, Pickwick, and helping us out there. Very happy to have settled that one, as I said before. Recently, we were able to settle and ratify 3 contracts with the Gourmet Glatt companies on Long Island, Cedarhurst, Woodmere, and
Lawrence.
Lawrence, thank you. Down in the Five Towns area. Three, same company, but three different contracts, have separate owners. It's a complicated setup there, but we negotiated all three contracts at the same time. We settled all three at the same time, and we ratified all three of them at the same time. Unanimously ratified them, and I'll say it every time when you get a unanimous vote out there, it's something. It really warms your heart, really makes you feel like you're doing something the right thing. Okay, local that's on behalf of local 1718 members, same folks that voted to change their leadership and voted to affiliate with the UFCW because they were an unaffiliated union, and the same folks that unanimously voted on the contract that our team here was able to negotiate for them. So if you see where they were a year and a half ago to where they are now, I'm very proud to say that Local 1500 is representing them well. So, I'll jump ahead here. We are also negotiating another kosher supermarket. By the way, those gourmet glots are kosher supermarkets in the Five Towns area that I just mentioned. We are also negotiating with a company named Pomegranate. They have a store in Brooklyn that is also a kosher supermarket. Also on behalf of Local 1718. We are negotiating those contracts. Not only is Juan Guardado servicing them to the best of his ability and doing a fantastic job doing that, we are also negotiating contracts on their behalf, help them out. So although that's not typically on our Local 1500 agenda, it's definitely on our calendars. It's definitely something that we have to do. I'm very happy to report that earlier today we were able to settle with Square Roots Urban Farm. So this is cool.
Joe's got all the good news. That's all I can say.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Square Roots is an urban farm in Brooklyn. It's inside of a building, a large building, and there's an urban farm. They're growing herbs there and lettuce and
Edible
other
herbs.
things. Yeah.
Not well. No, that really doesn't help either. Greens, produce.
Yeah, exactly. Parsley and such, right? This company is owned by Elon Musk's brother, Kimball, okay? So that's who we're dealing with, and we expected difficult negotiations, quite frankly. Excuse me, similar to Petey's Pie, it's the first time negotiating with this company. They were non-union before, and it's one thing to negotiate with these legacy employers like the King Cullens and the Stop and Shops of the world and the D'Agostino and whomever, right? Wherever you come from, Fairway and Food Bazaar, and it's one thing to sit down and negotiate them because you have long-standing relationships. Both sides kind of know where you come from or where they're coming from, the history between the two of you. We don't have that with these new companies. We don't. We have to establish relationships. They don't know who we are. They don't know we don't know who they are, right? And they don't know our style or whatever have you. We always have a committee person with us, whether it's one person depending on the size of the group, or it's 8 people depending on the size of the group. We always try and have a committee person that's a rank and filer from the store sit with us and negotiate these contracts with them, so that person or those people could go back to the location and say, hey, look, this is what's going on. It's not just the union folks telling them what's happening, and that we need to make sure that we have that connection with the folks. So very happy to report that we're going to be voting that one next week, and again, we want to welcome Square Roots Urban Farm to our Local 1500 family. That's really nice. Oh, no, I didn't.
Sure.
Okay. So, this is, President Newell just reminded me that this is the first farm contract of its kind on Long Island in New York. We're very proud of that. we have seen farm workers, whether urban or suburban, look to organize recently. As you've heard us speak about organizing being an important hot topic, and folks are, I guess, they're really warming up to the idea of organizing on their jobs, right? And farm workers were never able to organize before. And I'm very proud to say, and thank you, Rob, for reminding me, that this is the first farm workers contract that's been negotiated and settled in any industry that we know of here in New York, okay? So, thank you for seeing.
There are two traditional farms that have won organizing elections, but neither of those two campaigns, unfortunately, has been able to get to a contract settlement yet. And we have all the support in the world for both Local 338 and Local 888, as they were the two locals that organized traditional farm workers, outside farm workers. This is the first urban farm contract, but it's also the first fully, well, not yet fully ratified, but soon to be fully ratified farm worker contract in the state of New York. And that's a really big thing for us. We're very proud to be able to do that, and to take advantage of a change in legislation that gave a group of people ordinarily who would have been excluded from the right to organize, like all of us, and now they're included, and we were able to help the first group get across the edge, and they'll have a contract to vote on probably within a week's time. So,
Yep. So, and
it's a great thing.
And if you were ever wondering what else UFCW stands for, it's the Urban Farm and Crop Workers Union as well, okay? So,
Joe's pretty quick with the initials, I can tell you that.
okay, thank you. So I asked before who here was from King Cullen, right? Can I just see a show of hands again, even those of you standing up in the back? Keith, you ain't from King Cullen? Keith's just raising his hand. Listen, I mentioned this a couple of general membership meetings ago, right? I tried to be as concise and direct as possible when I said that we will not accept a contract for King Cullen employees that is less than any other contract that we've settled on and negotiated in the past. By the way, we have settled on and negotiated 33 contracts in the last 2 years, okay? So when I tell you that we've been busy, we've been busy. There's a lot to negotiate a contract, to get a set of proposals from the membership, to get a committee together, to agree on dates when the union committee and the company committee can sit down and meet, and then go dates after date after date after date of going back and forth on things, right? And when we finally reach a settlement, having to ratify that is a whole nother process, okay? And then we get into the contract writing aspect of it. It's time to change the old contract into the new contract. There's a lot of work that goes on there. Rob gets involved in a lot of that work. That's each company, each CBA, each collective bargaining agreement that we negotiate, we have to do that for, right? And, you know, when I say we've done it 33 times in the past 2 years, and we've had some difficulties, yes, we have, right? But we've been able to get through it. There's a standard in our industry, quite frankly, whether we're talking about Mandel Key Food, or we're talking about King's Supermarket here in Garden City, or we're talking about Food Bazaar, we're talking about Stop and Shop, or we're talking about Pickwick Key Food. We have to keep within that range of what we were able to negotiate for everyone. It only makes sense, right? We wouldn't expect companies to say, hey, look, you've agreed to pay this much more for folks, and everyone's going to be fine with it because everyone's going to, everyone feels that we're going to want that as well for them. But at the same token, we can't accept less than what we've gotten at 33 other contracts, quite frankly, and especially not at one of our largest employers, King Cullen, especially not at one of the employers that we have had under contract for one of the longest times.
Over 80 years.
80 years, okay. I'm not going to embarrass any King Cullen committee members that are here, but we have several King Cullen committee members that are here. So if somehow you don't believe me, feel free to talk to them after the meeting, or if you want them to come up and speak to you, they will gladly come up and speak to you. However, we basically told them, because of our relationship, because of our understanding and our desire to keep King Cullen solvent over the past years, keep King Cullen running and profitable over the past few years, we have agreed to make decisions that aren't necessarily the most favorable when we talk about the wages for King Cullen. Backloading wages towards the end of the contract just to help the company out. We did it at least twice in the past 8 years. But what that turns out to mean is that these folks wind up making a little bit less, in some cases less, than what everyone else is making. Let's say compared to Stop and Shop, right? King Cullen, Stop and Shop, same ballpark, right? Same playpen we play in, King Cullen and Stop and Shop. So why should King Cullen employees accept less than Stop and Shop employees, or Mandel Key Food employees, or any other employees that we've been able to negotiate for? Why should King Cullen employees accept less, work for less than that? You know what? The company is in a healthier position than it's been in quite a long time now. King Cullen members have worked through the pandemic just like everyone else, risked their lives, risked their families' lives. We've lost King Cullen members that have gone to work and tried to do the right thing for the company and for their community. And now's the time for the company to show their gratification. All I'm going to say is the proposal that King Cullen put on the table this past week is the worst proposal that we've seen from King Cullen in the past several contract negotiations. And at a time, we told the company, at a time where you should be coming here with a larger wage package to catch people up to the rest of the folks that we've been negotiating with, you come here with a less expensive or a lesser proposal. And that only means King Cullen folks are going to fall further behind. And that's not something that we're going to accept anymore. Okay, we've done it. They cried that they were possibly going out of business. They have to close stores, and Stop and Shop who's going to buy them, and it's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. And quite frankly, the time is now. If it's not now, after the pandemic and all the money that King Cullen made, then when is it going to be? Okay? So I will say this again. We are not going to accept anything less for King Cullen members than we've accepted in any of the other companies that we've negotiated for in the past. I could sit here and yell and scream and throw water bottles and flip the table over, but you know what? The message is going to come from the membership, quite frankly, and we're going to be coming out there and we're going to be looking for you to have our backs. Okay, we don't get to vote on the contract. We could sing and dance and stand on our heads and yell and scream and hang up phones and kick people out of our office, and we can do all of that, but ultimately we don't vote on it. So the company's going to have to hear from you guys. Quite frankly, I'll say it here, there should be a tax for the benefit that King Cullen has gotten over these years on the backs of the King Cullen employees. And right now, it's time to tax King Cullen. It's time to tax the king.
All right, so Joe made a very similar speech at the proposal meeting, and he got me pretty wound. And we're on Facebook Live, so I'm not going to make the same presentation that I made that night just because I think it can and will be used against me at a later date. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The King Cullen membership historically has had a very close relationship with the principals. And we understand that. It's a Long Island-based, family-run company that's been in business since 1937, if I'm not mistaken. They're in the Smithsonian as being America's first supermarket. Why would America's first supermarket pay less than any other? Why would the workers at King Cullen be willing to take less? I'll make one minor correction to what Joe said. At the end of the day, the rates of pay are so close, it's almost unnoticeable. But over the life of those contracts, the King Cullen membership made less over that 3 or 5 year period of time because the money was earned in the 4th and the 5th year, or in the 2nd and the 3rd year, as opposed to in the 1st or the 2nd. Your union negotiating committees for the last 15 years have always done what they thought was best for the membership and for the employer in that time. This is not the time to look for concessions from a group of people who put their lives on the line, worked their asses off through a pandemic, and took lesser contracts, backloaded contracts for the last 8 years. Now is not the time. If there was a fiscal concern for your employer, if there was some underlying concern or condition that we felt was going to harm the King Cullen membership, if we negotiated a strong wage, we would tell you. We've done it before. It doesn't make us the most popular people in the room when the membership looks back and says, you're carrying their fucking water. No, we're not. We're trying to be as transparent and as open as possible. That's not the case. It's time to tax the king. Period. They have been very successful because of the dedication and the loyalty. They used to refer to the Cullen Company and their little internal magazine as the Kingdom. You want to be the king? Take care of your people. Otherwise, people overthrow monarchies on a daily basis. Just look at Twitter. At the end of the day, we have 16,000 plus members here working in 34 or 35 different banners. And what happens in King Cullen can and will affect every single one of you. So if you don't work for King Cullen, you recently got a settlement, you overwhelmingly ratified your contract, don't think you're out of the woods, because if push comes to shove and King Cullen picks a fight with the 17 or 1,800 members we have left there, it's going to be on the backs of every member of this union to stand up with them and fight. Because if it's not your turn now, it will be your turn next if King Cullen's allowed to get away with this, and that's not something that we're going to allow to happen. Period. Point blank. End the conversation. I got no beef with your ownership. I have no beef with the principals that run that company, unless they give you a substandard contract. Then I have nothing but beef. Let's see what the process holds. You're in the best, most capable hands. You have a great member negotiating committee. Joe, Allie, and their team have negotiated. Joe adds to the number every time. He's like that McDonald's hamburger sign, baby. He's up to 33 in the last 2 years. He's made hay out of this cycle, and he's done fantastic with everyone around him. And I expect nothing less, and will accept nothing less from the King Cullen Company as it relates to their membership. So, it may be the holiday season, but there could be a little hoop-de-doo if King Cullen doesn't do the right thing. Sorry, Joe.
No, that I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you, Rob. Again, as Rob said,
Hoop-de-doo?
whoop-de-doo. Let's get that on the button. Our servicing staff is limited. Our staff is limited in terms of the sheer number of folks we have, the grievance meetings that we're all over the place. We can have someone in Dutchess County and Westchester County and a few people in the city at any given time. We're gonna need help, not just the King Cullen folks. We're gonna need help from everyone to stand up for the King Cullen folks. Because you know what? If King Cullen is successful in getting a substandard contract, what do you think the other companies are going to look for next go around? That's right. You gave it to Cullen, we want it from Cullen. And then it's a race to the bottom. And that is what we're here to prevent. Okay? I'm going to end my comments there.
Sure you don't want to say 3 more words?
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Happy holidays. I wish everyone a happy, safe, and healthy holiday. I'd like to introduce Secretary Treasurer Ali Wadi.
Thank you. Rob actually started my presentation. He said, another 3 words, tax the king. Message is simple. Let's talk about it. We're all giving you the same message for a reason. You know, we've been able to accomplish a lot of things this year, and the most important thing, I think, is to keep our members well taken care of. It's our job to do that. And when I'm sitting in the room with some people that I know are hardcore union members that are not afraid of anything, and the reaction on their face when they hear the proposal from the company that they've worked for 40 years, I think it was 300 years of experience in the room. These people have given their lives to a company that now is not showing any value. It is not only disgraceful to sit there, but also to see people that are bargaining contracts that, quite frankly, are newcomers, that maybe don't understand what these people have gone through. We do. You're our members. But some of the messaging and what we really want you to take away from this is, and we talk a lot about organizing. Love Dave's presentation. Talking about the importance of organizing is something that we've been saying for a long time, and I'll speak for myself because it's been my bag since I started here. It was something that when I got the job at Local 1500, and the people that I knew, the people in my family that knew anything about the union, they said to me, "Wait, you're going to get people into the union? Easiest job you'll ever have. The union's fantastic." I started working at Local 1500 and very quickly was met with a lot of the realities, and I should say the difficult realities, that are being an organizer. People are not always willing to put things on the line. People are afraid. People are concerned. But what I do know is that when people are forced with their back against the wall and given no choice, a lot of times they make different decisions than they would when they're comfortable. If your companies are making you uncomfortable, we'll be there for you. We'll definitely hold your hand and try and mentor you through or whatever it is that we have to do to support you. But the truth is that we actually need that from you. And it's difficult to say because I can only imagine sitting in a room, and as an organizer, I know what it's like to talk to someone to say, "Hey, you want to challenge your boss? You want to put everything in front of them and say, 'I'd like a better job'?" Because we know that that's not easy. So to present committee members and past committee members and future committee members, we thank you and we applaud you for what you do. Because we know that it's not easy to stand or to sit across from your boss and to say, "This is not enough." But the time is right. People are rising up. And if you look around, there are a lot of workers around this country talking about making a change. And the reason why they're trying to make a change is because people have finally realized that they're worth more than what they're being given. Because no one should be given what your bosses are putting on the table right now as union employers. Well, that's not something that they're putting on the table because they want to. That's something that they're putting on the table because they have to. And the people on the other side, not just us, Joe said it, and it's right. We work for the union. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes we do say things that we don't want to say on Facebook and have repeated or recorded. I'm proud of that because a lot of times in closed rooms, we have to say things and be real with your bosses and maybe say the things that you want to say. And that's not going to change. It's not going to change. I welcome every single union company that's going to come to the table with us. But they're partners with us to make sure that their workers have a better life. And in reality, they owe that to you. They wouldn't have any of the things that they have without your sacrifices. So you don't have to thank them. You don't have to show them respect. And I don't mean disrespect them, but respect is earned. And if they're not going to show you the same respect, then we're going to have to take them to town. And we are going to need you. This doesn't stop here. I love this room right now. I love the room for the King Cullen meeting too, because it was full of people that were determined. I'm watching you guys and I see a different crowd of people. people that are not going to take anybody's crap. And that's what we need. We need you to stand with us while we stand with you. I just want to take a moment to really appreciate everything that you have done and everything that you will be doing. On a positive note, our bargaining list is getting pretty light. So we'll be able to spend a lot of time with the King Cullen folks discussing this contract, and we're really looking forward to it. I hope you are too if you're watching. Moving on, I want to go over, Rob's definitely going to go over some things related to the State of the Union, but I wanted to say to the Shop Steward Seminar, we did do it remotely this year, and I don't believe we had a chance to discuss that. We'll probably continue discussion on that to see what format works better. We know that there's more participation that way, and we did take a poll, and it seemed that members felt that way as well. But we'll keep you posted. We did feel that it was a very successful seminar and that there was a lot of participation. So you will see some winter hats and baseball hats and different props or giveaways in your stores. And if you are looking for something, please feel free to reach out. If there's something that you may need, someone mentioned to us that gloves are not just for snowball fights and that you guys may need them throughout the year. And that's the kind of thing that we want to hear from the membership. If you guys are in need of something, please let us know, let your reps know, and they'll be sure to make it happen. I usually have the proud moment of welcoming new staff members, so I would like to welcome a new staff member, an organizer. Her name is Kira Elman, and I'm smiling because she's the first female that we've had in a very, very long time. So please, she's not here tonight, unfortunately. Kira's very busy doing all of the organizing work that our team is doing very successfully. So please join me in giving her a round of applause and welcoming her. Kira has shown a lot of passion as she tried to and successfully organized her workplace, so we're really happy to welcome her. And if you don't know, a lot of our organizers are former workers in their shops. We believe that this is important, just as it's important for us to have a team that's filled with former members. Everyone at the table right here is a former member. Most of your reps are former members. I don't believe we have too many that were not, or they come from other unions, which I think it's also a really good way of bringing other attributes or experience to the team. So I also want to take a little bit of time to thank our team, our service reps, our union reps, our organizers, our union staff, our office staff, everyone that works here. We really appreciate everything that you do. It takes a village, as they say, and we wouldn't be able to do any of the things that we do without all of the people that work at the union. And obviously, I want to say that our members, for us, are our number one resource, our number one asset, and everything that you guys bring to the table. We are also former members, as I said, so we know all of the work that you're doing and how important it is. So we also want to thank you for everything that you do every day and everything that you're going to do to continue the union moving. Just want to leave you on a note, and it's something that was said that I found very interesting in a meeting. It was just a remark in passing, but it really caught my attention. Wages right now are high, but inflation is higher. And if you look back during the summer, there was this whole debate on whether or not we were in a recession, are we or are we not? And a lot of people with a lot of fancy titles and probably a lot of plaques on their wall get to talk about this, right? The people that really feel it are people like us, people in this room. So now we move into a conversation about inflation. And I'll go back a little bit into the conversation about bargaining. I find it really interesting when I hear employers talk about inflation and how much is impacting them and how much they can't afford to do and how much things have gone up. And if they treated their staff as customers, right? Because you guys also buy stuff, right? You don't just go to work and you go get put away after your shift and you start over the next day. You're actually people that have needs that are also buying these very same things that your company sells. I just, more of as a PSA, I would really like to see employers think of their employees more as people that are being impacted by the same thing that their customers are being impacted, because they're also their customers. And if your people are being impacted so bad by the whatever economic ups and downs, and it's keeping them from being able to comfortably even shop in their stores, then you're doing something wrong. And we have to change that. So, as David said, if you know someone that wants to join a union, now's the time. Give us a call. Happy holidays, and thank you again for everything that you do.
Just grab that. I don't want to screw it up.
Thank you, Al. Of course, important message from our Secretary Treasurer. And now I'd like to pass the mic literally over to
Does
our
that need to be on? I don't, definitely don't need that. Okay.
President Newell, everyone.
Hey, thank you. I get made fun of every meeting because I have a Monster, so Monster Energy, if you're watching, and we know you are, sponsorships, we're ready, we can take you. Advertisements in the paper, whatever you need. Put you right there, prominently displayed. All right, listen, thank you. I appreciate everyone's patience tonight. We tried to get some pretty important messaging out there. I'm really happy with the first presentation from United Way. I can guarantee it will not be the last. We have members in all income brackets all throughout our jurisdiction, and no matter what, you're never ever going to be at a place where you couldn't get sideswiped or have an issue hit you or your family where you need help. And to know you have the backing and the support of an organization like the United Way, I think goes a long way, and really appreciate you guys coming down here tonight. My first interaction with them was with Teresa Rignati at the Long Island Federation, a labor meeting, and Zach and I sat there, and within 2 minutes we just said, man, where the hell have we been? We've been missing the boat here. So we're pretty excited to move forward with them in some type of a partnership. So thank you again for being here tonight. So I'm going to try to keep my comments calm, right? It's a holiday meeting. I tend to get a little excited from time to time. So I'll start by wishing everyone and their families a happy holiday. I've gotten wound up in conversations and forgot to say that and then stuck my head back in the camera at the end of the conversation. I don't want to do that. Look, this is the time of year where everyone should be able to get that few extra minutes to unwind, to relax, to sit with their families, and to joke, to laugh, and to enjoy each other's company. After what felt like 20 years, but was realistically more than 2.5 in the pandemic, most of us lost touch with family and friends. Many of us even forgot how to do what we all do. For our members, they didn't forget how to go to work. They certainly didn't forget how to get abused on the sales floor, and they certainly didn't forget how to be taken for granted by their employers. But from the union perspective, this is the time where you should take those moments and you should enjoy them, because you never know when they could be taken away from you. Every one of us here is dealing with some issue, whether it be personal or private in your family, or something to the outside. So I read something earlier today about two strangers that got on a plane and they sat next to each other in an emergency row, and neither of them was in the right state of mind when they got on the plane. They didn't want to deal with anybody else. But when the second woman sat down in the row, she asked, what are my responsibilities in the emergency exit? And the person that was sitting there explained them, and she says, I just don't know if I have it in me. And something told that woman, don't just close your eyes and put your headphones on, talk to her. That woman's husband had just committed suicide 30 days before. She had buried him, was trying to figure out how her life was going to, what direction it was going to take, how she was going to make ends meet. Those two people formed a bond on that plane, and in less than a 3-hour plane ride, they both revealed incredible information about each other to one another. Because you just never know when somebody needs that shoulder, when they need that ear, when they just need that 5 minutes. It's just easy to put your headphones in, or close your eyes, or to stare at your phone and ignore the realities of what's around you. This is a union. We're built on brotherhood, and I don't mean that in any way possible. We're built on togetherness, and at the end of the day, if we can't take 30 seconds to look at the person next to us and figure out whether or not they need you, we're missing something. We're not doing our jobs. To me, that's the most important part of our jobs. That's why our reps don't just talk to you about the contracts. That's why they'll talk to you about what's going on in your life. Joe Castelli, a former union representative here, used to say, you're their friend, you're their rabbi, you're their priest, you're Dear Abby and Landers. Joe was old. Dear Abby and Landers. He goes, whatever it is the member needs, that's your job. And I looked at Joe and I said, well, I don't know how to be all those people. And he goes, you'll figure it out. He goes, if you listen, they'll tell you what they need. He goes, and if you open your heart, you'll figure out a way to help. That's what the labor movement's about. And this time of year right now, more so than any other. So look out for your coworkers, look out for each other, enjoy the time with your families, treat each other with respect, regardless of what team you like. I'm a big one on that one. Regardless of who you voted for, what your political feelings are. Respect is not political, and it's easy to give. It's actually free. So in a time of inflation, you can't figure out what to give somebody, give them a little extra respect. Won't cost you a dime, okay? So thank you for that. Now, if we could just get that message to your employers and the customers, tomorrow would be a little bit of an easier day at work. So let me get into a couple just quick items because I think they're really important. There's two pieces of legislation right now that are creating a little bit of havoc as far as Local 1500 is concerned. One is New York City Just Cause legislation. So our contract has what's called just cause termination language. It means that if you get terminated, you have a right to be represented, you have a right to the grievance process, you have a right to an arbitration process beyond that. It's controlled in the contract. It's controlled between your union and your employer. The contract says the only bargaining representative on your behalf is your union. This legislation in the city of New York would empower community groups and other organizations that contract with the city of New York to entertain just cause terminations across the city, no matter what industry they work in, for a period of up to 2 years after the termination. You know, I get it. Politicians want to get reelected. Politicians want headlines. So what do? You look out there and you try to grab onto a few things that are good, that sound good, that could potentially help people. But I'm not a politician. I run a labor union. And when politicians try to do my job, I get just as pissed off as when they try to do theirs. At the end of the day, if an elected official in this country wants to help working people, whether it be in the city of New York, the state of New York, or in the United States of America, they should make the path to unionization clear and simple. Take out the roadblocks and the impediments and take the advantages away that the National Labor Relations Act gives to the employers. Give us card check legislation, where if 50% plus one worker signs an authorization card, the employer has a mandate to bargain. Make bargaining a closed window. Force the employer to bargain in good faith. Stop allowing employers to have captive audience meetings where they can poison the workforce and threaten them about what the repercussions are of joining a union. If there's an elected official out there that wants to help people, help them join a union. We know how to take care of our members. You worry about legislation, we'll take care of our members. And don't misinterpret my message. There are some fantastic politicians out there, and some of them really want to do good things for our members. But you have to talk to the unions or the members that they're trying to handle in these or cover in these legislative pieces. If you don't, they're going to miss the mark every time. New York City Sick Leave Act is how we ended up getting involved with two employers. Because when they passed the New York City Sick Leave Act, two employers that we ended up organizing took all the rest of the paid time off away and only paid what the city and the state said they had to. And then they blamed the law for taking away benefits and emoluments from those employees. Thankfully, they called the union, we organized them. But no piece of legislation can't be bastardized. No piece of legislation can't be used as justification to take money out of a worker's pocket unless it's properly crafted. And when it comes to taking care of workers, we should be the ones writing those pieces of legislation. We should be the ones sponsoring those pieces of legislation. Not the DSA, not the Republicans, not the Democrats. Doesn't matter what political party it is. It should be the labor unions in this country. It's our money and our members that vote and put these people in office. If they're not going to listen to us, we shouldn't put them back. So you heard enough about King Cullen, probably enough to choke a horse, but I will say this. For the first time in probably decades, the executives of King Cullen met with the executives of the union regarding the increase that they didn't pay in the September 2022 contract increase. And I'll leave the details of the meeting out, but I can tell you at the end of the meeting, they're going to make the payment. So anybody who didn't get that increase in September, I don't know if it was September 4th, I forget the exact date, you will get it. There will be full retroactivity. So if that message didn't get to you from your shop steward or from your union delegate, understand that that's been rectified. You will get that increase as you were supposed to. To say there was a miscommunication or a misunderstanding would be an understatement. I submit to you, King Cullen still believes that they have no obligation to make that payment. They're making it to avoid bigger and better problems. I don't care why they pay it. I know why we negotiated it. I know why this man did what he did, and they have the responsibility to pay, and what's important is they're going to do that. So that's a pretty important message for our folks at King Cullen. To our workers in Stop and Shop Flatbush Avenue, if you don't know this, your company is closing that store, but the store has been purchased by Bogopah Food Bazaar. Bogopah will be there tomorrow to talk to the workers in that store. People are going to be given the opportunity to stay with Bogopah. Bogopah's working out an acquisition agreement with Joe for that location, which will, for the most part, be identical to the Stop and Shop contract in that building. So if it's an inconvenient moment for you, you can't take the transfer, you can't go here, you can't go there, and you want to stay with Bogopah, stay there. It's our shop. You have nothing to worry about. I assure you the acquisition agreement will be as close as it possibly can be to the Stop and Shop contract in that store. But if you want to move, you have the ability. The company will give you a transfer to another location in the area. Take that opportunity if that's what you want to do. There's no harm, there's no foul. You have choices. Most times, people wouldn't have choices in those situations, but you're represented by a union. So, two other quick pieces. Mandel, Pickwick, and Scutoro. To those three memberships. The Pickwick membership knows this because they voted on their contract. Part of the settlement document talked about Pickwick paying its withdrawal liability to the pension fund, exiting the pension fund, and joining the annuity fund, and contributions beginning for the annuity fund. Their contract actually stipulated a December 1st transition from the pension fund into the annuity fund. Mandel and Scutoro both signed and had their withdrawal agreements approved. That's effective 12/31. So we now have 4 legacy employers that are now out of the pension fund, have paid 100% of their liability, or signed agreements that say they must do that within the next 24 months, and have now commenced contributions in the annuity fund. All 3 of these employers, just like the Stop and Shop exit in 2021, have startup money. We called it seed money, whatever it may be. You get a little bit of money that kicks into your account in the first month, and then you'll get monthly contributions going forward. Look, at the end of the day, the defined benefit pension system, especially the multi-employer defined benefit pension system, easy for me to say, is a difficult one. And in a down year in the market, especially a market year that was down some 20% at one point, it makes it an even more difficult year. Anytime we can get a small employer to pay 100%, dollar for dollar, what their withdrawal liability is, we're going to take it. Why? Because it justifies and it certifies that we should be able to support every benefit earned up to that day. They're not getting a deal. No one's getting out early. The Mandel and Scutoro membership will get their letters. They'll see exactly what their employers paid. Pickwick paid over $13 million. Not yet, but they will pay over $13 million within 2 years. That's important. I remind you all, there are a ton of former A&P people here. When A&P went bankrupt and liquidated in 2015, they left almost $80 million in unfunded liability on the pension fund. That money was spread out amongst the remaining employers. Make sure she's okay. In 2020, Fairway went through a controlled liquidation. They left $86 million, $87 million in unfunded liability in the pension fund. We can't afford to have that happen. Believe it or not, the employers that are left in the fund, King Cullen and Stop and Shop, to their credit, they all paid not only their share, they paid their share of everybody else's that was left on the table. Anytime we can get 100% dollar for dollar, we should take it. It guarantees you everything you've earned up to that day. And that's not something that we're going to run away from. It's not something that I'm afraid to discuss. It's certainly not something that I'm afraid to debate. But the Board of Trustees made the decision to accept the 3 deals, and we're actually really happy about it. It's $26 million, $27 million actually, that in a bankruptcy situation would be 0. So we're very happy to report those 3 changes to you. Believe it or not, someone I used to work for, watching the meeting, sends me a text, "Hi, who's talking about the pension fund?" So Sue, it's me. And why are there 2 different places pension checks come from, Prudential and UFCW Local 1500? Well, Sue, if you ever come to a union meeting back in 2015, you'd realize since October of 2015, the union does direct payment out of the pension fund. Prior to that, the union purchased annuities through the Prudential Insurance Company. So anybody who's got a pension that started prior to October 1st of 2015 gets a check from Prudential. Anybody who started after gets a check from the UFCW Local 1500 Pension Fund. Here's the trick. If you retired and working part-time, you could be getting checks from both places, because that's probably what your next question was going to be. Good to hear from you, Sue. Don't text me during the meeting anymore. Okay. I love you, Sue, but don't text me during the meeting. Look, I'm proud to say that we had a really great visit here on November 1st. International President Mark Perone paid us a visit here at Frank Meehan Hall. He hadn't been here. This building was built in 2010. We opened in December. And believe it or not, we have not had a ranking official. You okay, Nick? Okay. We have not had a ranking official of the UFCW International in this building since it was opened. And having President Perone come, meet with our staff, meet with our executive board, spend time, see the house that Frank built, it meant a lot to us. You know, our local for a long period of time was a local that many others modeled themselves after. And I think for a little bit of time, we kind of fell from that and we shifted, and maybe our priorities were different than they should have been. And I can't really question those that were involved at that time. People make the decisions they think are right. The one thing I can say now is the leadership team here at the local, our current staff of union representatives, organizers, service reps, our office staff, they're just crushing it. To see the reaction of our members, to see unanimous contract vote after unanimous contract vote, that's the type of justification that I need to know that our membership is approving of the leadership of this local union. This is not about me. I said it at a party last night. There's not one person at this union who has a job that's more important than the next. From our most recent employee, Kira Ellman, to our organizing department, all the way up to our most senior employee, who I believe right now is still Lynn Shields. Every single person here is in some way, shape, or form responsible for taking care of our membership. We have in this room people from our office to collect dues. We have our pension department here. We have our welfare department here, although the red jacket's missing in the middle of the room. We have a ton of former members on our office staff, and we do that so that when you call, they know who's on the other side. No, they may not know Tim, but they know what Tim's going through because they were in Tim's shoes or in Tim's aisle at some point. And that's something you just really can't teach someone who's never worked in the industry. So that's something else that we're incredibly proud of. To Ali's point earlier, the majority of our field staff are former members of our union or came to us with 20 years of experience from a different union. We're not trying to make sure that you get bargain basement representation. We want you to have the very best that's available to you. We want you to be able to get your questions answered. We want you to be able to get the help that you need. And we want you to be able to freaking yell and scream at us if you need to, and for us to understand why you're yelling. It's vital that our membership feels respected by this union and by their employers. So we're going to continue. Go ahead. We're going to continue to try to grow this union. Our goal is to get back to 23,000 members the same way David said it. We're doing a lot of hard work. We're doing a lot of organizing, and our work with the folks from 1718 will also help us down the line. But no matter what happens, this is a union built by members, and it's going to continue to be run at the behest of our members. We look at every dollar spent as if it's yours, because it is. This is not my office, it's yours. Those are not my chairs, they're yours. Every time we spend a dollar, it's a member's dollar. And I can't thank you enough for trusting us with it. The financial report that you heard earlier, some people might look at that and go, yeah, well, it's not that big a deal. It is. It is when you're down 15%, 12%, and we're not. We're in the black. That just shows that people are spending the time to make the right decisions. And I really appreciate it. So I'm going to end on this, and it is a challenge. These employers that Joe referenced in the kosher industry, the 3 gourmet glots down in the 5 towns, are about to get a new guest in the neighborhood. It's a non-union guest. It's called Bingo. For those of you that don't know, in the kosher world, Bingo is like kosher Costco. There are 3 locations in the tri-state area, one in Muncie, New York, one in Lakewood, New Jersey, and one in the former Pathmark on 61st and 624 in Borough Park. And there's a new one coming to the former Stop and Shop on Burnside Avenue in Inwood, in the 5 towns. This company has a significantly lower labor standard than the 3 contracts that Joe and his team just negotiated for the folks at 1718. And I would tell you that we're going to do everything we can to defend our new members. Bingo is not going to be welcome to the 5 towns without a union contract. Bingo is not going to be welcome to the 5 towns to lower the standards of the kosher food world that we just got reintroduced to. We're going to need our members to stand up and fight for our brothers and sisters at 1718 and protect the contracts that they just worked their ass off to negotiate for them. We're hoping to take Bingo on in a multi-prong attack in all 4 locations, the 3 that are open and the one that's prospective next year. We're going to need members. We don't have members that picket for free. We pay our pickets. Paul Santopia will be running the picket line. He'll be running the effort. It will be an informational picket line to explain to the neighborhood and explain to the potential customers that Bingo does not pay union standards. Bingo does not pay union wages, and Bingo cannot be allowed to lower the standards in the 5 towns for the kosher food industry. That's the challenge for early 2023. You with me? Yeah. All right, that's all I can ask for. So I've gone long enough, and as I said to you, there's $2,500 and $500 gift cards. I think there's $550 gift card. I don't know. There's a lot of money in gift cards. Now is not the time to go to the bathroom or fall asleep. If you're on Facebook Live and you've checked in, I hope you're still here, because if you don't answer, we're going to re-raffle off your card. Thank you very much, everybody, and sit tight. Yes, staff from 1500 E-Board, you are not eligible, so don't try to slip a card in. Oh, are there questions? Are there questions? Say again?
What are these? These are people from in here?
Collecting cards, let's go.
You got the Facebook?
You got a couple? Good.
Let's listen up.
All right, you guys do your thing. I'll do the questions later.
Yeah? Okay.
No one here, right?
This is in the room only, right? Sean, can I ask you a favor? Do we have all the cards from in the room? Good? Can I just get you to pull 1 or 2 cards? Those are Facebook Live, right?
You're going to make somebody very happy.
This is in-house?
In-house only. In-house? Are they legit?
No, these are people here, but some of them are Facebook Live. But these are people that are physically here.
That's what I want, physically here. Gotcha. All right, so you want to kick the 2 in-house 500s?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, folks.
All right, here we go. All right, you're going to pick 2.
$500! Oh!
That's 1. That's 2.
Get 2.
Okay, in-house only. Julio Choque Flores. Julio, where you at? $500, Julio.
What school?
Julio's from Food Bazaar 78. You ready? Catherine Weisenberger. Where's she? Oh, yeah, she better step back in. There you are, Kathy.
No bathroom breaks.
That's Julio right there.
Yeah.
Oh, Julio. Julio, congratulations. How are you? Good to see you.
Dan's 14, Dan's 11, what is it? 11? Congratulations.
Grab that, Paul.
Merry Christmas.
Write the number on the back of this.
Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the number.
Okay.
Amount and number.
All right.
How you wanna go? You wanna do, what do you got? You got 25s?
Yeah.
Do like, we'll do like 5 of them for in-house.
Okay.
Are you ready? Pop out 5 more for me? 5 more. Shaking them up. 25 apiece MasterCard gift cards. In-house only.
Facebook people, just hold tight. You're definitely going to be in the raffle soon.
All right, here we go.
Got 5 there? Yep. These are $25 each?
Yep.
Okay, in-house, folks. Richard Harris, 559. Come on up.
Watch the wire. There you go.
Okay. Samantha from Stop and Shop 545. Samantha?
What is it?
I can't read that last name, Samantha.
559?
545.
Check it out on your last
Oh,
name, or
Rich
you can't
Harris.
read it,
Rich
one or the
Harris?
other.
559. Come on up. Hi. What's your last name? Can't read it.
Galasso?
Galasso. Okay. Thank you.
First meeting?
Oh, yeah, very nice.
All right.
Congratulations.
1 for 1.
Watch the step.
That's Samantha. Got that? Sorry, I mean to throw it. Rich Nelson, where is he? Can't miss him. There he is. He's sitting.
That's because he's
Congratulations,
here
Rich.
all the
Congrats.
time. Thank you.
Eusebio Infante. Eusebio, where are you?
Coming on down.
Wild by nature, I think so. Hey, Eusebio, how are you?
Thank
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. One more. Caesar Prado. Caesar. Stop and Shop 539. There you go.
First meeting.
Forest Hills in the house. Congratulations.
Let's mix them up.
Okay. Throw them in this box.
Yep. Oh, we lost one. All right, give him a good shake.
Mix them up. Mix them up. On camera, we'll mix it up. Mixing it up.
However you want to mix them up.
We need a wheel and turn it. Okay.
Just let's knock out like 10,
Okay.
and then you can spit them out however you want, and then let's kick the other 500.
10 more?
10 out of there, please.
Here we go. This includes Facebook Live.
And this is Stop and Shop?
It's gonna be,
It's gonna be a mix.
just write it on the card. Why do you have to write it on the paper? Such a nudge.
Whatever works.
6.
Dig, shake them up. That's what they're screaming on Facebook. I guarantee it.
There you go. There you go. 7.
7, 8.
7, 8. Okay.
9.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
First
We'll go
5
this
or
way.
what, Al?
We'll do these. The
All right,
Stop
first
and Shop.
5 at $25 Stop and Shop.
Facebook, James Gregg, Stop and Shop 556. Chrisanne Zarconi. Did I say that right? Who's? Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Hope I didn't butcher your name.
You spelled it right.
Thank you. Facebook Live, Carolina Brillante from Hillside. Carolina's watching. Congratulations. We could clap for the Facebook Live folks. Yeah, we could clap for them. They're like, Facebook Michelle Ward. Michelle Twyman Ward. Stop and Shop 540. Facebook, Bobby Williams, King Cullen 35. All right, in-house, we have a winner. Bill Zangrillo, William Zangrillo, where you at? Hey. Oh, see how they cheer for the in-person people get the cheers, okay. Hey, Bill, congrats.
Happy holidays.
Facebook Live, Aisha Matko, Christini's 82, University Place. Aisha. Fred claims he's coming to the city tomorrow to see you. Aisha. Okay, John Terrell, Stop and Shop 545. John Terrell. Congratulations, John. Okay, here we go. ShopRite 278, Karen Lubers. Karen!
Why are you taking my call? I give you the call.
Facebook Live again, Billiana Millwater. Billy, Dan's number 8. Congratulations. Oh, here's an in-house. She's still here? Georgette Wilson. There you go. It's for Georgette. Okay, now how many?
Why don't we do these two?
Okay.
Yeah, we just did
Yeah.
count one more just to make sure I didn't take one too many.
Congratulations. Where's, I
Oh,
think Rob's got.
Georgette.
I don't have Georgette's. I don't think, unless it's here. Georgette? Yes. There you go.
Hey, Georgette. Thank you. You want to do 2 now, and then what do you want to do?
do, kid? You got the Honda.
2. Let's do 150, and then we'll do
Grab me
25.
Come on up.
1, 2,
Okay.
4, 5.
So 7.
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
we'll do 12.
Grab 12, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Shake it up. Dig in there deep. Okay. D's first. I'm just calling the name. You pick one.
Yeah. I'll say what is more.
Yeah.
The bottom one. 11.
All right. Here we go.
Billy, which card did you get?
For a $50 card.
All right, here we go. $50 goes to Facebook Live Sue Fiore. Stop and Shop 543. So
I
congratulations.
just want to know which one. You're good.
Going in this direction.
MasterCard.
The next 5 are going to be $25 Stop and Shop.
Okay. $25 Stop and Shop goes to Scott Carpenter, King Cullen 23. Facebook Live. Onassis Abundis Arzetta. Where is he? I didn't even see him.
Right there.
He brought people with him.
Okay, Onassis. Okay. Okay.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Both. How are you, man? How you doing?
Congratulations. Okay, $25 goes to Lyle Nigro. Lyle, come on up, Lyle. Oh, we got some in-person ones here. Tim Doyle. Stop and Shop 546. Tim. Hey, Tim, how are you?
Thank you.
Thank you. Lillian Ruiz.
Lillian! Yes, let's go, girl.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Angelo Moroku. Moroku. I finally, is he here? Finally get to know how to say your last name, Angelo. Hey, Angela. How are you?
Did we announce it?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
50.
Okay.
Next 5 are going to be for $25. MasterCard.
Okay. Rafael Gonzalez Arellano. Come on up, Rafael. Food Bazaar, 78. Westbury.
Nice. You brought that good luck in here, huh?
Good seeing you. See you. This is good. Next is
MasterCard.
Facebook Live. Dawn Brander, King Cullen 3.
Oh,
Kutchak. Kutchak didn't want to make the ride out here tonight.
We haven't seen the rash of 26 yet.
Yeah,
either.
not yet. Bob Long, Stop and Shop 2588. Bob, congratulations. You say, Paul?
I said, I hope he's doing okay.
Oh, yeah. Albert Frederick, Stop and Shop 564. Facebook Live. Congratulations, Albert.
You'd say 500.
Lori Brassell,
So,
Stop and Shop 545. Lori,
Lori!
congratulations, Lori. $25 MasterCard.
Knock them out. Let's go.
All right, we're going to do 3 $500 cards now.
Okay, 3.
And the hush falls over the
Oh,
crowd.
yeah. Oh, here we go. Everyone sat up. Shake it up good. One, 2, great. Facebook Live.
They're on, damn it!
Betty Love Henderson. Betty Henderson, Stop Shop 556, right down the road. Elaine Yindel, King Cullen 53, Facebook Live. 53. Elaine Yindel. Here's an in-person. Already ready already. Phil Zollinger. Phil! Congrats, Phil.
Thank you. Awesome. Happy holidays. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Somebody make sure they walk Phil to his car.
There's Phil's 500. Yeah. Okay, how many we need now?
Okay, we have 35,
Okay.
4 of those, and we have a lot of these. So.
This is going to one winner?
Yes.
Okay.
So 1, 2,
do that now.
3, 4. Yeah. 10, 11. So we have
11?
11. So we'll need 15. Well, let's do them separately. Do this first. Just
Okay.
pull one for that one. This is
You mind pulling one?
Yep.
This one is for a combined $10 Dunkin' Donuts and $25 Panera gift card. Okay, both cards go to the winner. Who is on Facebook Live? Lisa Urban. Lisa, congratulations. King Cullen 57.
And let's do 11.
11?
Yeah.
Thank you. He's like, this is the last time I'm coming
Stop
here.
and Shop cards.
A lot of gift cards. It's very nice.
It's the holidays, you know.
Exactly. 2, 3.
Couple part-timers. Okay. Thank you. Ready?
Go.
Karen Baromeo, Stop and Shop 2502, Facebook Live. Ooh, a lot of Facebook Lives. Nancy Trogler Koch, King Cullen 16. Nancy, yeah. That was Facebook Live. Vanessa Villacres, SRS 293. Facebook Live. Oh, Wow, it's a lot of Facebook Lives. Patricia McKibben Montefusco, Stop and Shop 559. Facebook Live. Tina Londino, King Cullen 47. Also on Facebook Live.
Okay.
All right. So, LaVasia Christian, Stop and Shop 592.
They're getting restless, Joe.
I know. I didn't pick him. Matthew Bracco, King Cullen 35. Shirley didn't come out either.
That's all underneath the bus. I didn't pick 'em.
Rocco Primiani, King Cullen 53. What's up, Rocco? Congratulations. They're all Facebook. Okay.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Leonard Tompkins, ShopRite 269. Pays to watch on Facebook Live. It's gonna be empty next time.
No, but you got more than we got 20.
Yeah. Don Augustine, King Cullen 40. Hail sites coming out tonight. Facebook Live. Christine Polachek Smith, King Cullen 51. What do we got?
4 $25 MasterCards.
And that's
That's it.
That's it? Okay. The last 4. Don't kill the messenger, folks.
Take them up or something.
Little in out.
They get a little hostile on you.
Come on.
Don't charge the podium.
It got real quiet, by the way. It was okay when everyone was talking, not paying attention.
United who? Come on. You said 4, right?
Yeah.
Tell us
Oh, Jesus. How many people are on Facebook now?
Yeah. All right. Kim Callahan, King Cullen 37, watching on Facebook Live. Paul Goldstein, ShopRite 102. Paul Goldstein watching Facebook Live. Robert Precison, Stop and Shop 548. And the last gift card goes to Claire Allback, King Cullen 37.
All right, that's it?
That's it.
All right. So I've been writing them on there. So let me just do the questions really quick.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right, scooch for 1 second, one of you. Thank you. All right. So we did get a few questions that came in. Cullen members, don't worry. Stickers and buttons are en route. You have no issue. That's already on order. Betty Ford, Pickwick 24. Any word on the new owner of Pickwick? Yes. Yes and yes. And I would tell you, I'm not at liberty to disclose it, but yes, we are aware. Yes, we've been in contact. And it's not an automatic situation. There's a phase-in period, Betty. Nothing that we're not aware of or concerned about at all. Robert Foster, King Cullen 26. Does King Cullen have a contract as of now? You must have got on late because Joe gave you 20 minutes on why the answer to that question is unequivocally no. Angel Luis Santiago, Dags number 6. Any chance for local 1500s sweaters or vests? I would say call your secretary treasurer and see if she's got it in the budget. 2 female members asking for smaller gloves if possible. If these gloves get any smaller, they're going to be children's size, but we'll see what we can do. Again, here's your secretary treasurer. She does all the ordering. So that's a pretty good day for questions. In the room, any questions, anything that you need answered that wasn't answered during the meeting? Going once, going twice. You good?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion, second. All in favor, aye? Opposed? Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Happy